Hey, what is up guys? Dylan here from Brando LG, aka Lucas Brandon, and today we're going to be doing something a little different. So, you might not have known this, but I am a self-published author, and today I will be reading my first book, Dilono's Ultimate Adventures, The Technological Illuminati, by Dylan Brandon. Copyright 2018. Yeah, without further ado, let's get right to this. Chapter 1, The Backstory. Way back in 1500, there was a 23-year-old man named Dominus Anemo who lived on Venus with his wife, Octopusis, and his newborn son, Dilono. Octopusis Hanuki was the leader of Libertas, the colony they lived in. In 1496, all of the citizens of the Ukron, the fourth planet from the seventh sun, in Solar System G, grew tired of all of the unfair laws that King Puramalam III had passed. The ruinous reign had been going on since 1398, the year King Puramalam I had been king. Everyone had grown sick and tired of his ways, so they all flew over in space jets to Venus. They started a colony there, and they named it Libertas, which is freedom in Latin. After 4 years, a new member of Libertas was born. His name was Dilono. Dilono was the first and only member to be born on Libertas itself. Dominus Anemo and Octopusis did an exceptional job at raising him. By the time he was 3, his IQ was 175. In fact, when Dilono was 4, Dominus Anemo asked him, "Hey Dilono, what is pi?" Dilono responded, "The approximate value of pi is 3.141592653388379503383419716884197167510510582009. Great job, Dominus Anemo said. But on June 25th, 1505, there was a newcomer that seemed to be from Ukron. No one except Octopusis even noticed, but she was worried. It was her sister, Katal Hanuki, who had been the only one to stay loyal to King Puramalam III. As soon as she caught a sight of Octopusis, Katal proceeded to shoot her in the shoulder several times until her arm fell off. Octopusis rushed to warn the citizens, and 15 minutes later, everyone had evacuated in space jets until only Dominus Anemo and his family were left. Octopusis collapsed, lost consciousness, and died. Dilono was shot in the neck and died instantly, and Katal took Dominus Anemo back to Ukron. In the space jet, Katal had chained Dominus Anemo to the wall and put an unbreakable charm on the chains. "Well, well, well," Katal said. "It looks like my assassin mission was more than successful. I got not only that betraying bucket of filth that I'm supposed to call a sister, but also her son. Oh, and you. You'll never get away with the murder of your sister and nephew, my wife and son! What a disgusting waste of human life! How could you? How could you possibly take King Puramalam's, your father's, orders? How could anyone order their daughter to go out and kill their sister? You foul, loathsome, evil little murderer!" Dominus Anemo kept yelling on the top of his lungs. "You know," Katal replied, I only really feeling like answering a couple of those comments. First of all, I am pretty sure I've gotten away with it. Second of all, Father never liked Octopusis anyway. And finally, Father did in fact threaten to take away my position as power as Princess of Ukron, and he also said that if I didn't kill Octopusis, at the very least, I would be banished from Ukron forever. Easy choice, really. "Then why did you spare me?" Dominus Anemo yelled. "Why don't you kill me along with my family?" "Oh, we have a very good reason to spare you," she said. "We have a special machine. It can turn your revolutionary skill and talent into coercion, torture, and murder. It can make you an absolutely amazing assassin. It can turn you evil." "There's a machine that can turn me evil?" Dominus Anemo yelled. "Oh, yes. It's called Imperium Machina Malum. It restrains you to the wall, aims a cannon right at your chest, and fires out this thick greenish-purple laser. It changes your appearance, your personality, and most of all, your allegiance," Katal said. "My allegiance? You mean you're going to blast me with a laser that literally turns me evil?" Dominus Anemo said. "Oh, it looks like we're here," said Katal. They were approaching Ukron. No! Dominus and Nemo cried out. But it was too late. They were already in the throne room, and King Puramalam was sitting on his throne and seemed to be waiting for Katal to return. Katal, said Puramalam, I was wondering when you'd get back, and I see you brought Dominus and Nemo. Were you able to recover the body? Yes, Katal said, and I also killed their son. I think his name was Dimalo or something. But Dominus and Nemo was barely paying attention. Although he had lived on Ukron for 19 years, he had never actually seen what King Puramalam had looked like. He was incredibly filthy and was wearing a big big cloak that was red with black spots on the outside and white on the inside. He also had he was also very hairy, bald, had a small filthy goatee, black eyes, and was wearing a large, horrible crown made of amethyst, obsidian, and aventurine. Then Dominus and Nemo came back to his senses. Recover the body? Dominus and Nemo said. She didn't recover a body. You've never heard of a compacting cube? King Puramalam said. In response to Dominus and Nemo's questioning look, Puramalam continued, a compacting cube is a small cube that has a tiny button. Pressing that button will compact anything into the cube. Pressing the button again will send the item out, completely unscathed. I think we should tranquilize him, don't you, Katal? Yes, father, Katal said. Next thing he knew, Dominus and Nemo felt a very sharp pain in his neck, and saw Katal, who was smirking and holding some kind of gun. Then everything went dark. In what seemed like seconds later, Dilono woke up. Dominus and Nemo woke up. He was suspended in midair. His arms chained to the ceiling, his legs chained to the floor, and his chest chained to the wall. There was a large cannon pointing directly at him about 10 feet away, and there was a clear tube connecting the cannon to a tank full of what looked like greenish-purple lasers. He was about to experience being blasted by Imperium Machina Malum. Well, if you've got any last words, say them now, said Puramalam. Dominus and Nemo decided to finally accept his fate and I can't speak. Dominus and Nemo decided to finally accept his fate and chose his words carefully. I am, he began, but he was cut off by King Puramalam, who said, Nope, too late, bye-bye now. And then it happened. All good and right and happiness was about to be sucked out of him. He shut his eyes tight. Ready? He did not know who was talking, but he did not care. Aim! This was it. His final few seconds of real life were... It was over. Fire! He saw a beam of greenish-purple light, and there it came. He was crying out, louder than a space jet engine, louder than a nuclear bomb. It was the most painful, horrible, yet non-feeling sensation he had ever and will ever experience. So much pain, yet he couldn't feel anything. He was clinging to the last of his senses, and then all of it died out, forever. But then he suddenly came back to his senses. He absolutely needed to take someone down to the torture chamber. He was released from the chains. He was strong, powerful, and... Wait a minute. Did he have a master? No, that couldn't be. No way was he going to have a master. He needed to take his supposed master down to the torture chamber, but first he caught a glimpse of himself in the mirror. He was wearing armor made of materials such as diamond, quartz, and obsidian. He also had a rocket launcher that was attached to his arm. He was tall, had dark green hair that was in a long ponytail, and he had a very dark face with red markings under his eyes. And his name, what was his name? Out of nowhere it came to him, Tenebris. And then a few more things came to him. He was a powerful warrior with a desire to torture and murder anyone who got in his way. He also formed a plan in his head that he would gather followers, build an army at his command, choose a few worthy co-leaders. Yes, that was it. A secret organization. That would all come together in the future, but for now, he needed to torture the person who thought he was Tenebris' master. Excuse me. Oi! Where are you taking me? I command you to put me down! King Puramalam yelled as Tenebris lifted him off the ground. Command? Tenebris didn't actually know what he sounded like. His voice was menacing, slightly magnified, and had a bit of a hiss to it. I'm not taking anyone's commands, he sneered. "How dare you defy your master!" Poor Malum shouted. "Master!" Tenebris spat. "You complete idiot!" "What are you going to do then? Put me on the noose?" said King Puramalum. He was trying to sound fierce, but there was an obvious amount of fear in his voice. "The noose? To hell with killing you. I am going to torture you, and we will start with the liquid nitrogen freezing chamber," Tenebris said. "Catal! Stop him!" King Puramalum yelled. "All right then, prepare to die, Tenebris," Catal said. But before she could even draw her weapon, Tenebris fired a rocket right at Catal's heart, and she collapsed, dead. "Catal!" Puramalum yelled. Tenebris traveled down the elevator, down below the castle, down into the dungeons, and into the torture chamber. Once they were in, Tenebris proceeded to fill the liquid nitrogen freezing chamber with dry ice. "You're going to put me in there?" Puramalum screamed in horror, now making no effort to keep fear out of his voice. "You deserve it," Tenebris said. "Thinking you're my master gets you about an hour in the liquid nitrogen freezing chamber." No! Ah! King Puramalum screamed as he was put into the chamber. "Actually, I think I might as well kill you," Tenebris said as he locked up the glass door. "You'll be in there until you freeze to death. The royal family is no more." And then Tenebris walked out of the torture chamber and into the throne room. He kicked Catal's body aside, picked up the compacting cube that was on the floor, and compacted Imperium Machina Malum into the cube. He then got into the space jet and flew it off to Ukron, the now deserted planet, off to a place where he could gather followers. But where? All of a sudden, he had an idea. Earth. Here ends Chapter 1.